Jack. It's so nice to be here with you today.
Lovely to be with you too, Isabela.
But I have a beef with you because you've broken my heart time and time again.
Oh, my goodness.
As Richard Harrow in Boardwalk Empire.
Yeah.
So how do you compare working on a TV series with such an action-filled movie as this one?
It's a really good question because on TV, which I discovered because I'd never really done a television show or played a character like Richard Harrow, what you experience playing someone like Richard Harrow on a show that goes for years is it becomes a study of the human being in a much more fluid way, because you're learning about this character each day, each week, each month, each episode, and it's not finite. It's not a script you get and it's got a beginning, middle, and end. Right. It's a character that's ever evolving. So as an actor, it's quite a beautiful thing because you get to, with the audience and the writers, they begin to know you as you begin to know the character. And that character sort of takes off and they write for you. So it sort of feels like you're having something written for you, but it's ever evolving and ever breathing and always moving until it's sad, finale.
It was a very sad ending.
Yeah, it was a very sad ending. But the right ending, if you're looking at, yes. It's tragic. It was a tragic character. So, as in any great tragedy, it normally ends tragically. So sadly, he did.
Do you feel you have to carry the character close to your skin from year to year? And is that possible when you're making a movie? Or would you go crazy if you did that?
I tend to take characters very much to heart. As I say, you have to love a character to want to play it. Be it a bad character, there's no such thing. Be it good, be it, sympathetic, whoever he is, or she is, you have to love it and take it inside of you. And be it a film, be it TV, I found on this movie, on Ben-Hur, the evolution of where I started and where I ended was such an amazing transition. Mentally, physically, it's such a test to put yourself through so much, and emotionally as well as physically, because I think Judah's one of the great characters. Lew Wallace wrote this book, and it was 130 plus years ago he wrote this book. Yes. And yet we're still finding new ways to tell this amazing tale because the characters at its core are so strong. It's one of those beautiful stories. And I read the script and I loved the William Wyler version and previous versions. And I said, there's something here. I got to play him. I want to play this so much. I was so taken. I fell so in love with the character. And I felt that there was such a moment to re-explore this story, because although it's set 2,000 years ago, it's never felt more relevant.
It hasn't really. And do you feel that the film touches on what you consider to be the main issues regarding, the coexistence of a peaceful coexistence of different peoples in Middle East?
Yeah, it's it's so interesting. We as humans have witnessed for so many years, centuries, such atrocities, such horrific things. We are capable of such horrific acts. And sometimes that's always going to be the case, I believe. But we're also capable of such love and such sort of moments and acts of such greatness and kindness and humanity, which is amazing that it's called humanity, that, sometimes we need to be reminded that we're capable of doing good things, we don't just have to be reminded of all the bad things, which I find I'm very aware of all the horrible things that are going on in the world. And when I watch politics and I watch people talk, it's like they're instilling this fear in us because they think that's how they get us, is through fear. And love, man, it's, it sounds corny, it sounds cheesy, but, I have found the most peaceful moments in my life have been the loving ones. The way I look at my daughter or my son, the way I miss my family, the way I relate to my friends, the happiness, it's so much easier in a sense for ourselves internally. I think it becomes this disease, hatred, and it manifests itself and it turns us, rotten inside. And it's a simple relinquishing that, and it's amazing that weight that comes off us. And it's sometimes through something like cinema or a beautiful piece of art or a wonderful piece of literature. We read something or we watch something or we experience something and we're reminded of how good it feels to love and feel good about life and people and what we're capable of doing, possibly.
It's a wonderful feeling, isn't it?
Yeah.
That you can put that across. But, there are other hurdles in the movie, which are of a more practical nature. So it goes like this: two Brits and a mad Kazakh go into a bar, and
Ben-Hur comes out.
Right.
Yeah.
So how did Timur persuade you and Toby that you had to literally take the reins yourselves in the chariot race?
I don't think there was much persuasion, actually. I was really happy that Timur wanted to do it, wanted to do it for real. I think I probably wouldn't have been as excited about this movie had it not been for Timur's resolute, being absolutely resolute that we have to do this for real, that we have to be on those chariots, that we have to experience this. Because he's very aware of a modern audience, and today's audience have seen every special effects under the sun. We've seen every sort of CGI, every sort of incarnation of robots in space and things going off. Whereas this is very much a character piece and a story of, like you just said, two brothers, about me and Toby. And to experience that race as an audience member, knowing that we as actors actually experience that race for real, only would add to the drama to us, and we all were very, very keen on putting that across and conveying it.
I was so frightened for the both of you.
Yeah, it was pretty frightening.
Now, what is the most frightening thing once you get onto the chariot and there's those four huge horses so alive?
Yeah,
brimming with energy.
Yeah, it's Well, it's an amazing thing because you realize why cars are still, the power of a car is still horsepower. Like, this was the original NASCAR, the original Formula One. It was actually a blood sport. These guys went into these arenas, and there was a very high percentage of death involved. And then we had such an amazing team behind us, choreographing this, stunt team, working this out, because we knew just how dangerous it was. It was such an amazing thing to actually find yourself on a chariot hurtling around a circus. But the most dangerous part of it is the other horses and the other chariots, because if something goes wrong, you're not strapped in any way. You need to be able to get off that chariot if something goes wrong. But if you get off the chariot, there's 16 other horses behind you that's just going to plow into you. So it has to be very well thought out. It's like a beautiful dance.
It's always other drivers the problem, isn't it?
Yes, exactly. The other drivers, the same as in cars. It's true. It's everyone else, never me.
Yes, but not a scratch on
Not a scratch on me.
Well, Jack, it's been a pleasure.
Isabela, what a pleasure.